Hey, good morning, family. So, Reginald Martin, founder of Kemetic Center Living. So, out again this morning. It's a little bit cold, so I had to bundle up, but doing that walk. So, today we're going to talk about why can I remember my past lives, okay? And this is a person asked this question in the comments of one of my videos, and said that basically she, has been Christian, and she's been looking in the Bible for answers, to about past lives, and why she can't remember them. And so we're going to talk about that today, but I'm going to put this in the context of the ancient Kemetic science, okay? So to help you understand how this connects to life, how this connects to you, okay, on a daily basis, all right? Because in actuality, we can remember past lives. So it is something that is so often so natural for us that we don't even realize what we're doing, okay? This brings in the idea of imagination, all right? So a lot of people, we've been taught to believe, what we imagine is just hallucinations or make-believe. Family, really? Come on now. Stay with me on this. You think something, because our imagination is something that separates us from most of the animal world, because we can actually imagine things in what we believe is in the past and what we believe is in the future. And I'm going to explain that a little bit. But family, the imagination is one of the most powerful freaking aspects of our being, okay? And the imagination, it is not make-believe, it is not hallucinations. Let me tell you what the imagination is. The imagination is actually the ability for you to appear or to preview different dimensions and different aspects of your being, of your soul being, okay? Because the soul doesn't stop perceiving while you are in the physical. Your soul, who you are, doesn't stop perceiving while you're in the physical. So you literally, through your imagination, have the ability to peer into different, what we would call different dimensions. A lot of people, and this is something, again, I go into depth into this in my Kemetic Physics course to help you make sense of it, because I don't just spew out information. It has to make sense so we can use it, and so we can use it to improve this life, okay? But it sets you up for everything else, good or bad, the way you use this information or not, okay? So past lives, so we're still talking about past lives, and I'm going to connect the dots here, okay? So when we're talking about peering into past lives or future lives, in reality, from a metaphysics perspective and metaphysical law, there is no such thing as time, okay? What we know as time that just essentially moves forward does not really exist. It is a construct of our physical life while we're in the physical world, okay? In other words, the only reason we perceive time or something in the context of time is really, it's a marker for us, for our experience while we're in the physical. That connects it to when we're talking about peering and looking into past lives. So the way the ancient Egyptians symbolized the idea of past lives was with Osiris. And Osiris is actually the aspect of the soul while we're in the physical that is not yet awake to this knowledge and to its Christ self, because this knowledge is actually tapping into what people want to call the Christ consciousness. This is understanding what your consciousness does and what it can do for you. Okay, it's not just about being spiritual. You can walk around all day and go like, oh damn, I'm a Christ. No, it's the ability to peer into past lives, to peer into other dimensions. The other thing is about dimensions. Okay, dimensions are an internal state. A lot of people think it's going to be like people talk about the new earth. They think it's going to be going to some other planet or some other place out there. Family, the shift is always within, okay? So the idea of the new earth is a new perspective, which a different perspective is tapping into a different dimension and many different possibilities, because everything that exists now, okay? Time is only a construct of our physical brain, but all possibilities exist in this now. Any thought that you might have creates new worlds, but that new world only exists now, okay? The new dimension. So your brain, your imagination actually allows you to be or to exist in a multidimensional existence. And that multidimensional existence is inside you. That's how you can connect to this. So this brings us to past lives. Past lives are not past in the context of the soul. They are happening now. They're having their own life, they're having their own deal, but in our sense, it's a different part of time. Hey family, just a quick addendum to the idea that everything exists in the now. You got to think of your consciousness kind of mimics in a way like watching television, okay? When you switch a channel, does the information that was on the previous channel, does it disappear, or is it just not in your vision or your view, okay? When you switch back to the channel, does the information not come back? You know, does whatever TV show you were watching, does it not come back? Okay, so that's how you have to think about your present moment, okay? Anytime you think of something in your past, whether it be a past life or in this past, your present past, this present life's past, you are literally switching channels, okay? And your intention is the remote control, okay? That's how you have to look at that. And it can be a powerful thing that you can do, okay? All right, family. Even if we remember past times in our lives, the 5-year-old you is existing as a 5-year-old you and having different experiences that is just going through, weaving in and out as a 5-year-old. It stays 5-year-old, that 5-year-old you actually stays 5 years old for eternity. But it's a different, oh man, see, and this is where it's hard to explain these ideas in our language. And people that start, anyway, I'm not gonna get on that, but take one word and go like, man, it doesn't mean that. Damn, I'm trying to explain a concept that most people don't even talk about or know about. But anyway, so the you that was you yesterday actually goes on to experience different possibilities, okay, depending on your level of vibration. You're going to, and this is, again, vibration is an organizing principle. So based on your level of vibration, you are going to move through different possibilities of experience, okay? So a past life, you're going to connect to the past life. And I think I said, Osiris, the horns represent time, okay, the cycle of time. If I didn't, that's how it connects to the ancient, that's how the ancient Egyptians represented that idea. I must didn't, because it came back to memory. But Osiris and the horns The horns represents a cycle, okay? Different cycles and cycles of time. But again, it's all connected. I'm going to help you connect the dots here. So when you remember past lives, it is actually not in the past, it's in the now, okay? If you couldn't connect to it in the now, first, it wouldn't exist, and it wouldn't be possible for you to even connect to it in your imagination. Now, vibration is important. Your level of vibration is important because what you're going to connect to is the aspects of that past life that is most relevant to this life. In other words, it becomes like a tool to help you work through other things, because in that past life, you might be working through the same emotions, the same, not emotions, what am I looking for? You might be working through the same experiences, but in different ways, okay? Because one experience, just say for instance, like the idea of how we express love. That idea, that one idea can be expressed many different ways. Somebody might like to give flowers to express love. Somebody might like to give chocolate to express love. Somebody might like to give, I don't know, other gifts to express love. But it's a different way to express the same idea, okay? And this is how our being as a soul works. So you're going to connect to the aspects of yourself, of that past life, that are most relevant to you. This is the thing to understand. Every single thing that happened in that past life, you're not going to connect to. What you're going to connect to, and the things that carry over into other lives, is going to be those things that are the strongest emotional and vibrational pool that you have. In other words, when you have something that really impacts you emotionally in a strong way, that's the stuff you connect to. If you think about thinking about even this life, okay, the parts that you remember in your past, okay, in this life, when you were younger, those parts usually have a strong emotional charge to them. I'll just call them a charge. Hey family, so one more addendum that I needed to add. And this is talking to my people that are black and white people that really get hung up on race, okay? And the idea of reincarnation. We've all lived different races, okay? We've all reincarnated as different races. But this is the thing. If you have a strong emotional charge about other races, no matter where you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever it is, if you have a strong emotional charge connected to other races, okay, negatively charged, you're already setting up your next incarnation into that race, okay? And understand, I know from the perspective of the racist people, that's a punishment. But in reality, as a soul, you are trying to learn and gain wisdom about all things in this physical life, okay? About this physical life and physical dimension. When you reincarnate, it's not a punishment, it is a balance, okay? If you've been unbalanced in this life, then when you reincarnate again, the next life, you're going to reincarnate. Now, that's not always the case, so I'm not talking absolutes here, but there's a huge possibility that when you do reincarnate the next life, you're going to reincarnate as that race that you had the strong negative charge towards, okay? So that you can learn, and you can learn about that race. You can learn how it may have felt for them, for you to be them. So that's, again, this is why vibration and emotions and understanding how they work on a universal level is so important, okay? Things will make more sense from that perspective when you understand how it works, okay? All right, family. Okay, so when you connect to your past, you're literally pulling in or moving to an aspect of your past that had a strong emotional pull. So everything that you do doesn't have a strong emotional pull, but the things that do are the ones that you can connect to. The same principle works with past lives, okay? When you have these strong emotional things that happen in those past lives or present lives in the past, okay? Actually, it's just the past in this sense is just another angle of the present. That makes sense. Man, it can get crazy, but the way you think about it. So at any rate, when you do remember something, it is going to come through your imagination. But this is where this negative religious programming impacts you, family. You have to trust what you get is true for you, okay? And if you cannot trust, we've been taught to look at ourselves as flawed, as not worthy, as all of these things. Family, that disconnects you from the trust that you have in your own being, okay? And it makes it difficult to accept something that you see in your imagination that you've been taught is hallucinations or not real because you can't touch it, okay? When in reality, it's the most realest shit that you're dealing with that you're gonna connect with, okay? It's just energetically and vibrationally that you connect with this knowledge, okay? That's why I'm always harping on vibration and frequency, because that, when you understand how to access yourself, your being through vibration and frequency, family, you have a whole nother worlds open to you, okay, that you can connect with. I have this class that I offer for free, and the vast majority of the people never finish the class. And the stuff that I'm teaching in that frequency tuning course will absolutely change your freaking life, okay? But free, people don't take it serious. A lot of people assume if it is free, then it is not of value. And I can understand from, you probably dealt with a lot of teachers who teach Kemetic stuff, but in reality, all they're doing is just talking about history and talking about the spirituality. When a lot of times what's different in my stuff and what I do is I'm actually taking you through the science step by step, okay? I'm teaching you how to spirituality instead of simply about spirituality. So, and this is how you know if something that I say or something that I say you should do is true. If it works. If it works, it is true. Plain and simple. And this is the thing I know. What I teach you works because I use it. It works for me, if nothing else. And I know that it works and has worked for hundreds of people that have taken my courses in classes. I know it works. But the idea of going through connecting the past lives is one, you have to shift your way of thinking about your imagination, family. So what I'm asking you to do is to think a different way about this stuff than you've been taught. Because the way that we've been taught, whether it's religion, whether it's through our science, anything, we've been taught a way that just dismisses our inner experience. It dismisses and disassociates us emotionally. It dismisses and disassociates the imagination, okay? And those two things work together. This is the other part of that, okay? One more part. Because what's going to happen is your beliefs is what fires the emotions that fire the imagination and the stuff that you connect to, okay? Your beliefs become like a frame. Your beliefs become the spotlight for consciousness. Whatever it is that you want to connect with. And I said this different ways in different videos, but I'm just connecting it to something different because it's all interconnected. When you want to connect to a past life, you simply have to set your intentions, okay? This is why understanding these words, intentions and stuff like that is so important, because the way I teach it is its intention is like the remote control for your consciousness, okay? But your beliefs are going to be the walls and blocks to what information you have the ability to access. Had this dude, this hater, comes to my channel and he wants to talk about what I'm doing. And he's like, well, you act like, the Egyptians were the all to end all and, blah, blah, blah. And you weren't even there. Brother, I was. And I know I was. I happen to be an Egyptian priest in the past, okay? In one of my past lives, I happen to be an Egyptian priest, okay? So I dealt with this stuff. So when I want to understand these ideas that I'm teaching you now, when I want to understand these ideas, I do a certain thing to help me connect to that past life, okay? So there's certain things, and I don't want to get this all complicated, but there's ways that you can use the laws, the metaphysical laws, to actually enrich this life that you have now, okay? That's what I do. If I want to learn something that I might be struggling with, whether it be business-wise, I probably need to tap into relationships more, but but anyway, I'm laughing at myself. But anyway, if I want to learn something business-wise, then I know by metaphysical law that successful me already exists because I've already thought about it. Family, you can tap into that you. You can tap into that successful you and actually bring that information into your now to speed up what you want to do, to the success that you want to have, okay? So these ideas is the deeper idea. So can you connect to past lives? Absolutely, positively, family. But you got to know how to do it. You got to know how to prep your mind and body in order to connect. And if you're trying to do that and you're not in the right state, you'll connect to something, okay? It's just the way the consciousness works. You're going to connect to something, but it might not be what you're looking for. But even when you see it in your mind's eye, third eye, your imagination, okay, will you trust it? Or, and I've been guilty of this and still guilty of this a lot of times. Wait a minute, is that real? Is that true? You question it, but you have to learn how to trust it, okay? You have to learn how to trust what your imagination brings you and recognize that it is not hallucination. It is your truth, because no matter what anybody else says, it's your truth. And it's interesting how a lot of people will experience something that might seem what they call weird. And then immediately they'll get online and start asking questions. Hey, has anybody else experienced this? And this is what that does. And asking the question is not a bad thing. You're trying to find out if there's anybody else that's like you. But what happens is, if nobody else validates what they've experienced, they'll dismiss it. Oh, that wasn't real. No, it was. It was real for you. No matter, sometimes, family, you have gifts that you might experience internal stuff that nobody else can. But if your validation for your gift comes from outside yourself and nobody else has experienced that, and they say, no, I never experienced that. No, I never experienced that. No, I never, and you dismiss it, you just gave away your gift. Okay? It's kind of like, I like to use an analogy of like Olympic athletes. And I can think of just a sprinter from years ago, Usain Bolt. Fastest human being that ever lived, okay, to this point. Everybody can run. You know, I can run. You can probably run if you got, you know, healthy legs and all that stuff, okay? But you cannot run as fast as Usain Bolt because you're not as gifted physically as he is. But you can run, okay? Somebody, you might have a gift like to the level of Usain Bolt for some inner experience and inner knowledge that you can tap into that nobody else can reach. But if you dismiss who you are for outside validation, the world never hears what you can bring, okay? And again, that takes a level of confidence to do that. It takes raising your level of confidence about who you are. So all of this stuff is connected, family. The bottom line is, it's all about vibration, okay? All about vibration. That's going to be the organizing principle of where you can direct your consciousness and how you want to connect or what you want to connect to, okay? Now, I'm going up a hill, so, ooh-wee. But anyway. And to all y'all people that talk about how hard I'm breathing, damn, I'm power walking. I ain't taking a leisurely stroll. I'm walking. I'm hoofing it. Okay, but anyway, it's exercise. But at any rate, so if you want to learn some of these principles, because I think really and truly, just a basic idea. Learning the basic ideas is so paramount to all of us in humanity that I created this guide that's free that you can download at kemetiphysicsguide.com, and it actually gives you some practical knowledge and exercises to help you be able to recognize your vibration and how to switch back and forth through your vibration. But understand, it is shifting you to a different way of thinking, family. It's shifting you to a different way of thinking. You cannot get to a new level of consciousness from the old way of thinking, okay? Because that is a level of consciousness and you're stuck at that level. In order to get to a new level, you are literally becoming a new individual. You're connecting to a new individual. And I've talked before about swimming in a pool of consciousness. You're not attracting it to you, you're becoming it because it already exists. Okay, that's a new layer that I added there. Okay, so yeah, family. So www.kemetiphysicsguide.com, and you can download that and start some of the exercises. Family, this is what I'm going to say to you with that. If you use it, I promise you, you're going to see a change. Okay, if it's something you've never dealt with before, if it's ways that you have never thought about before, and you begin to use it, it's going to work. I know it does. I know too many people that it works for, that I've taught and trained that it works for. Okay, so it's going to work for you, but you have to apply it. That's where a lot of people will download information, get information. They might even read it, but they won't apply it. Just apply it for 10 days. Apply it for 10 days and see if you don't notice a difference, okay? All right, family, y'all have an amazing day, and I will talk with you guys another time. All right, Reginald Martin out.